What's up everyone? Welcome back to the workshop. Sorry for the delay. I had a couple projects that I had to take care of that had tight timelines. I had to put on an extension to our chicken coop, and my wife was accepted into an art show and she needed some floater frames ASAP. So combine that with doing sound for a bunch of great shows. Now the project's running a little behind. But we've got all our pieces cut and ready for assembly. The dry fit looked great, but things do get a little more difficult once you start to use adhesive, regardless of whether or not you're using wood glue or PL Premium construction adhesive like me. Things get slippery and want to slide around, especially at these angles when you try to apply pressure. I like to assemble the entire horn all in one go, both the inner and outer flares, because once the adhesive cures, you really aren't going to be able to coax anything into place if needed. I had to do this step as a time lapse because this entire process took me about 50 minutes. I started by applying adhesive to the entire mating surface of the 3D printed throat adapter, and I used these spring clamps inside of the woofer taps to hold these in place. I then added the upper flare piece, and here's where I went a little wrong. I should have assembled the entire inner flare first, the top and the bottom, and gotten those nailed into place. I started trying to add on the right side of the outer flare, and it was just there was just too much pressure. It was pulling the entire horn assembly apart in a way that wasn't okay. And things really didn't get okay until I started actually nailing the upper and lower inner flare into place. I did that in the corners. I'll try to show where I did that. Imagine that the outer horn is not in place. I kind of hit right in this area with nails to tack it into place. And it's pretty easy to line up. You want it to line up with your taps here, and then the distance, if you were to find the bottom of this piece, this measurement that you're looking for right here is 6.8 centimeters. I used masking tape to hold the left and right outer flare pieces in place as best I could until I got the upper and lower outer flare pieces glued up and stationary with nails. And I ended up using a lot of clamps. You can see where I chose to clamp things. It's not exactly a trivial process, but this is the crux of the entire build. If you are able to do this assembly, I guarantee you can finish the project. You just got to build a box around it. After the adhesive cured, I was pretty happy with the joinery. I used a combination of techniques to get a nice transition from the inner to the outer flare. First, I tried burnishing, which is using a metal cylinder like the side of a screwdriver to dent the edge of the wood. One joint was a bit worse than the others, so I squeezed in some CA glue and then I sanded it to fill the small gap. The rest of the edges just got sanding, went to have sort of a rounded over transition. And I had mentioned in the previous video that I deviated slightly from the plans for the upper and lower outer flare pieces. There's a small corner of wood on the interior that doesn't get removed in the CNC process. That was difficult to recreate by hand. So this small interior corner, I'll just fill completely with PL Premium just to ensure that it's an airtight seal. There are a number of areas that I'll be filling with a Bondo spot glazing putty, particularly any nail holes and the transition from the throat adapter to the wooden horn. This might be overkill, but I wanted to try to make as smooth a transition as I could get. I applied 2 coats with a putty knife. I sanded it some with 100 grit, and then I ended up doing a 3rd coat, and then I sanded it one final time. I used a sanding sponge where it felt appropriate, and here's what the final product looked like. I had to wipe everything down with a rag. This spot glazing putty is very dusty, so I wiped it all down, and now it's ready to prime. I'm using Rust-Oleum Automotive Primer 2-in-1 filler and sandable. I really like this. It's going to get rid of any layer lines or artifacts you might have had from the 3D printing process. This spray can kind of have a gritty texture. I find that if you try to sand it too soon, it'll gum up your sandpaper. I like to wait a full 24 hours for this product to cure. Some of the grittiness you can just wipe away with your hand, and it works pretty well sanding with 100 grit. You can use really fine grit sandpaper on this and get like that automotive finish, but 100 grit seems to work okay for woodworking purposes. And what's nice is that you can go back and forth between this spray and the spot glazing putty. If you start to spray and you realize that there's some imperfections, you can go ahead and add another layer of the spot glazing putty and sand both of them together. Yeah, so go back and forth with coats until you're satisfied. And here's what our primed horn looks like. I'll caulk the corners as recommended in the plans from JW Sound. I'm using DAP Alex Fast Dry Siliconized Acrylic Latex Caulk. That is a mouthful. That's the product I'm using, not because it's anything special, it's just what I had on hand. I think the important thing is that it's paintable. I can't freehand these, so I did tape off the edges, and I'll run a bead. I'll wet my finger with some water, and I'll wipe away the excess onto a paper towel. I'll do this till there's not too much left. Then I'll remove the pieces of tape and use a wet finger to smooth out the edge. And here's the horn ready for paint. I am using Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch 2X primer. It's a flat white. It says it's flat, but it has a little bit of a sheen to it. I'm gonna actually use this as my paint. I know it says primer, but I really like the finish. You probably don't have to paint this now if you don't want to, but kind of works anywhere in the process. I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a couple light coats ahead of time, and then I will probably finalize the paint after it's in the exterior box. So I have assembled this differently than the official instructions because I don't have any dados in the box that I'm gonna build around this. Those would really help align all of these pieces, but since I'm going to use butt joints when I build the box around it, I like to build this horn ahead of time first and then just build a box around it. I'd like to have the speaker done by mid-July, but I do have some other projects I have to take care of. I've got to do some repairs on some old speakers for a friend of mine. So stay tuned for that as well. I'm going to try to get that on video. And for the next video in the JMOD series, we'll start to do the exterior box. Thanks for tuning in.